Imagine this. One of the world's most powerful leaders dies. Days pass. Then weeks. Then months. But instead of being buried immediately, as Islamic tradition normally requires, his body remains unburied for nearly 5 months. Why? Is it because of politics? Security fears? Or is there something even bigger happening behind the scenes? Today, we're breaking down the real reasons Iran has delayed the burial of its late Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and why officials say the funeral won't conclude until July 9th. Let's dive in. In Islam, burial usually happens as quickly as possible, often within 24 hours after death. The idea is simple: the deceased should be washed, wrapped in a white shroud, funeral prayers should be performed, and burial should take place without unnecessary delay. So when news broke that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's burial would happen months after his death, people around the world started asking the same question. What is Iran waiting for? The answer isn't just religious. It's political. It's logistical. And above all, it's about security. According to Iranian state media, the official funeral ceremonies are scheduled to begin on July 4 in Tehran. Several days of national mourning will follow. Additional ceremonies are planned in the holy city of Qom. Finally, on July 9, Khamenei is expected to be buried in his hometown of Mashhad, one of the most important religious cities in Iran. Officials say the delay is directly connected to the aftermath of months of war and the enormous logistical challenge of organizing one of the largest funerals in modern history. This isn't an ordinary state funeral. Iran expects millions of mourners. Crowds of this size create enormous risks. History has already shown what can happen. Back in 1989, during the funeral of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, the turnout became so overwhelming that the funeral descended into chaos. Millions pushed toward the coffin. Security barriers collapsed. The casket was overwhelmed by mourners. Authorities were forced to postpone the burial because they simply lost control of the crowd. Multiple people died and thousands were injured or treated after the crush and extreme heat. Iran's leadership clearly remembers that day. They don't want history to repeat itself. Iran has experienced another deadly funeral disaster much more recently. In 2020, during the funeral procession for General Qasem Soleimani, massive crowds packed the streets. A stampede broke out. Dozens of people were killed. Hundreds more were injured. That tragedy became another warning about how dangerous emotionally charged state funerals can become. Now imagine organizing an event for someone who led Iran for more than 3 decades. The security challenge becomes almost unimaginable. One of the biggest questions online is, if burial usually happens immediately, where has the body been? Iranian officials have not publicly released detailed technical information about how the body has been preserved. However, experts say that in exceptional circumstances, especially during war or when major state ceremonies are delayed, remains can be kept in refrigerated storage while preparations continue. Although this is not the normal Islamic practice, scholars note that extraordinary situations such as war, national emergencies, or unavoidable delays can lead authorities to make temporary exceptions. This isn't simply about saying goodbye. For Iran, this funeral is also a national event. It's expected to bring together senior military commanders, religious leaders, government officials, and foreign delegations from countries that maintain relations with Tehran. Several countries have already announced official representatives for the ceremonies, highlighting the event's international significance. The government wants the ceremony to project stability, unity, and continuity after an exceptionally turbulent period. That requires months of planning. Many people ask, if they knew this would happen, why didn't they organize it sooner? According to official reporting, the answer comes down to timing. The conflict that followed Khamenei's death created major security concerns across Iran. Resources were focused on the war, protecting infrastructure, and maintaining internal security. Only after conditions became more stable did authorities announce a full state funeral schedule. Here's how the official schedule currently stands. July 4th. State funeral ceremonies begin in Tehran. July 7th. Religious commemorations continue in Qom. July 9th. The final burial ceremony takes place in Mashhad. That marks the conclusion of nearly 5 months between Khamenei's death and his burial, a delay that is highly unusual under normal Islamic tradition but one Iranian authorities say was necessary because of war, security planning, and preparations for one of the largest funerals in the country's history. Whether you view this as a security necessity, a political decision, or an unprecedented moment in modern Middle Eastern history. One thing is undeniable. Few state funerals have ever required this level of planning. And as millions prepare to gather across Iran, the world will be watching one of the most significant ceremonies the country has held in decades. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into world events, geopolitics, and the stories shaping our world. Thanks for watching.